Good morning, class. I have to be out of the office this morning, so I decided to create a YouTube video to teach today. So your job is just to watch the YouTube video and answer the questions in the assignment that I post on Teams. Um, so I'm going to go to yesterday's assignment, which is on Cami. Yesterday we did question number 1 on Cami, and you were supposed to do number 2 for homework. Okay. Go back to look at the question, and we see that we have a quadratic function. Erica jumping into the ocean from a cliff. Um, I'm going to circle the quadratic on this question right here. Okay. So there it is in green. So yesterday we found, the first thing we did was we found the vertex of this path that she took. And to find the vertex, we used negative b over 2a, which is on top of the screen here. I'm just reviewing what we did yesterday. Okay, so negative b over 2a. Negative b is the negative of a positive 16. Okay, so negative b is going to be negative 16. You see that right here. Then we have 2 times a. A is negative 16 already, so you're going to do 2 times that, you get negative 32 divided, and it's 1/2 or 0.5. Okay, that means after 1/2 of a second, she reached the highest point in her path, and then fell into the ocean, right? So we decided to find out what her height was. To find her height, we had to substitute 0.5 into the equation. So you see we did that down here, right? So these are the steps to finding the vertex, which if you were in Miss Sandy's class, you know that she showed you that. You're going to be practicing that again today with different numbers. Okay, I had a few students yesterday asking me, saying it was confusing, but the thing about math that I told you yesterday is that once you know the steps, you just repeat the steps, maybe with different numbers. Okay, so I'm going to show you another example. Okay, and I'll tell you what your assignment is for today. Obviously, you want to watch this video and review what we did yesterday. So we found it was 100. We followed the order of operations here. 0.5 to the power of 2, which is 0.5 times 0.5. This first term right here is called the quadratic term because it has a squared. All right, so 0.5 times 0.5 times negative 16 was negative 4. Okay, so step 1 is to do each term and then add them up at the end, and we got 100. The second term is 16t, so it's 16 times 0.5 equals 8. That's called the linear term here, okay? And then 96 is the constant term. And 96 is always where we start out at time 0, or at the beginning of an example, the beginning of a word problem. In her case, she was starting out from a height of 96 feet, jumping into the ocean, right? So part B was 100. Then after how many seconds did Erica hit the water? This is one where we had to find, yesterday we used Desmos to find the answer. We graphed the equation, and I believe I still have this up. There it is. We put the equation into Desmos, and I had to change the x-axis because I said, well, we start at time 0, and x represents time. Okay, so x and t are going to be kind of the same. And I put 10 seconds to see how far she was going to be, how much time that she would be jumping into the ocean. But as you can see from the graph, the answer was 3. So we just found, and then the y-axis, we know she jumped from 96 feet. So I'm going to start at 0 and go up to, I went to 150. Okay, and when you do that, it gives you We are only looking at positive numbers here. When she hits the ocean at time 3 seconds, then you know she's going to go down. You can see if I go like this, she'll go under the water there after 3 seconds. Okay, so there are some negatives involved after 3 seconds. Okay, let's head back over to our assignment here. Today you still have to do number 2, and if you haven't done that yet, please take the time to review, go through the steps. I actually showed on Cami. I think I had a student try to answer this, but got the wrong answers there in black. So I was trying to give him a hint right here on how to find the vertex, which step 1 is always going to be negative b over 2a, all right? So we can go back. That's part of your assignment. Now I want to jump ahead. Today, I'm going to do one more problem with you guys on the video, and then your job is to do 2 questions on your own, all right? So I'm going to show you a couple different ways to answer with number 6 here. Number 6 was the one I chose, all right, because I liked the question. Some of the other questions I didn't think were that interesting. All right, I'm always going to be choosing questions that are more interesting for you guys to do. I certainly don't want to bore you, right? And we are going to be doing a lot of YouTube videos because you guys said you wanted to, and so I said today I'm going to do one. So this is something new for me. I've never done this before. What I'm using right now is called Microsoft Stream. I'm making this video in Microsoft Stream, which is part of our Microsoft uh, platform that we use for school, right? Number 6, a ball is thrown directly up from an initial height of 200 feet with an initial velocity of 96 feet per second. That should say a upward velocity because we haven't talked about vectors. Vectors means direction, um, but this is going to be anytime you do these types of quadratics here, we're talking about upward velocity because the height has to do with how far we are vertically up and down. All right, good. So we have 2 numbers there that are important, and you can see where those 2 numbers go in the equation. Okay, 96 is the upward velocity. That's going to be the linear term in the middle, and then 200 is the initial velocity where we start at time 0. That's the constant term. Okay, reviewing some vocabulary. By the way, you guys, when we take the test on quadratic, I'm going to have a question that says, which one is the linear term? You would have to say 96t. Okay, let's look at part A. How long does it take for the ball to reach its maximum height? Okay, we have to do what? We have to find the vertex, right? So that means we have to use negative b over 2a. All right, so I'm going to type that in over here. Pick my favorite color. Purple for today. So I'm going to sneak the answer in right here. We got negative b divided by 2a is going to be equal to negative 96, okay, divided by 2 times negative 16, right? Now we'll put equals. This is the same as negative 96 divided by negative 32, okay, which equals 3. I can do that in my head because, I'm a math teacher. So we got 3 seconds again on this one. I didn't know that was going to be, but so we know that after 3 seconds, then you have the ball at the maximum height because we're throwing a ball upward. Okay, this is gonna be a downward facing parabola, just like the last question. If you go back to what we were doing yesterday, this is a opening down. This is a parabola that opens down. It has any parabola that opens down, has a maximum height at the top, right? Okay, anything that's in motion that has gravity affecting it is going to be a downward facing parabola because things get pulled back to Earth, right? You guys know that math is all about life. Though, if any of you want to study things like physics or want to be scientists, you got to know this stuff. So we know how long does it take for the ball to reach its maximum height? Well, we just answered that. That's part A. The answer to part A is 3 seconds. I'm going to put that here. Okay, we're done with that. Now, B, what is the maximum height? So to do that, I have to substitute, right, 3 into this equation, new color. Okay, so we're going to take this equation here, put 3 in for t, and find out what we get, right? I'm going to put that off to the side here. So we got negative 16 times 3 squared. This is the quadratic term. Plus 96 times t, which is 3. That's the linear term of 200, okay? Step 1 is to substitute. Step 2, we have to do PEMDAS, order of operations. 3 squared is first. 3 times 3 is 9, so I'm going to put that. I'm going to show you step by step. Now, the squared part is done, and everything else is going to stay the same. Yesterday we were discussing, we do addition or subtraction first, right? Well, you have to do, if you are down to the last step, which is addition or subtraction, you have to do whatever comes first because they are like partners. Multiplication and division are like that too. So we have to do the multiplication that comes first, which is negative 16 times 9. I don't need a calculator because I love doing things in my head. That's probably going to be 144, right? So we got negative 144 plus 96 times 3. Can I do this in my head? 6 times 3 is 18. Carry the 1. Then 9 times 3 is 27. So it's 288. Okay, plus 200. Right? So we do the multiplication next. Now we're down to the addition and subtraction part, right? The first one that we have to do is negative 144 plus 288. That's actually an addition, but it could be a subtraction if I do it the other way, if I think of it in a different way. If I think of it in a different way, I could just do 288 minus 144. Okay. So actually, that's just going to be 144. And then we got to add 200 to it. Remember, we do it from left to right. So that's where we're at right there. Negative 144 plus 288. Right there is 344 feet maximum height through a ball into the air, right? 96 feet per second is quite fast. I don't think anyone could throw a ball quite that fast into the air because, well, maybe they can. Well, you could convert that to miles per hour. Extra credit, if anyone can tell me how many miles per hour 96 feet per second is, that'll be the extra credit question for today. 5 points just for fun, guys. All right. And I'm going to put that on the team's assignment. I'm going to put this assignment in teams. Like I said, you're going to have to do 2 questions today. I know you guys are going to be awesome on this. And on Friday, we can have I don't know what we're going to do Friday yet, but today you got to get your work done because you got to learn this stuff, guys. Right? Maximum height is 344 feet. All right. Let's take a look at part C. How long will it take for the ball, to hit the ground? Now, this is the one that we used Desmos for yesterday. I'm going to show you a different way to do this without Desmos. Desmos is like a computer that just finds the answers for you, right?